To start with, this most awaited event has never been made possible without the support of the equally and highly esteemed individuals from the school's division of Calbayog City, led by the epitome of an empowered woman and her active schools division superintendent, Dr. Thelma Kabadsan Kitalig, CESO 5. Dynamic and very supportive Public Schools District Supervisor, Mr. Pedro L. Montesilio Jr., our dedicated and very young at heart school head, Mrs. Herminia S. Balanay, our distinguished men and women of the entire academic community, colleagues, members of the graduating class, proud parents, guardians, friends, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant and joyous viewing. God's timing is not always our timing. He may not work things out the way we planned, but He is working things out for the better. This COVID-19 pandemic has really changed everything around the world, from our basic routinary way of living to celebrate big events has suddenly shifted to new normal. Ladies and gentlemen, Peña National High School proudly presents the Senior High School Commencement Exercises, second virtual ceremony for the school year 2020 to 2021 with the theme Strengthening the Quality of Education Amid the COVID-19 Pandemic.
The Philippine National Anthem. Let us put ourselves in the presence of the Lord.
At this juncture, let us hear from senior high school graduate with honors, Jobeth Dick Husay, for his welcome address.
Learning is creation, not consumption. Knowledge is not something a learner observes, but something a learner creates. George Callis. To our distinguished guests and school administrators, headed by Schools Division Superintendent Dr. Telma Cabadsan Kitalig, Assistant Schools Division Superintendent Dr. Sherita A. Palma, Curriculum Implementation Division Chief Dr. Renato S. Cagumok, School Governance and Operation Division Chief Mr. Ubaldo D. Jumay, Tinambacan 3 Public Schools District Supervisor Mr. Pedro L. Monticelio Jr., District Adopter Dr. Nelson R. Bellu, to our school head Mrs. Herminia S. Baranay, teachers and staff, our dear parents, fellow candidates for graduation, a wonderful day to all, and welcome to the virtual graduation ceremony of Peña National High School for school year 2020-2021. One of the most significant events in a student's life is no other than graduation. And since it is the end of our chapter as seniors, it brings us of joy and sadness. Joy for reaching our goals in life, and sadness for saying goodbye to the people who became part of our life. My fellow candidates for graduation, we are about to depart high school. We must enjoy the next chapter of our lives in order for us to reach our goals of graduating high school. And finally, college. Our alma mater, Peña National High School, taught us the values that we need in order for us to face our future without fear. We would like to thank those who worked hard in organizing this virtual event. Our graduation is even more memorable because you have spent time and effort to ensure that we will have a meaningful ceremony, even though this is not a face-to-face graduation that the schools always do. Thank you, dear teachers of Peña National High School, for the knowledge that you have given to us and all those lessons you have shared with us in the past years. Thank you, dear parents, for working hard to give us a good education. We are so happy and lucky to have you as part of our journey because this is the milestone for us. And most of all, thank you, God, for all of your blessings. And so, parents, honored guests, on behalf of the graduating class, it is my pleasure to welcome you to witness this year's virtual graduation ceremony. And very soon, our teacher will going to pop up on the screen one at a time with our names and with the awards we have got. Classmates, fellow graduates, I wish you all a good luck for the coming years in our lives. May the years to come be kind to all, and may God and His wisdom bless us with success. Thank you very much. Once again, welcome and have a good day.
And now, let us be overwhelmed with the words of inspiration to be given to us by our very own Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Telma Cabadsan Kitalig, CESO 5.
Greetings to one and all. Special mention to my co-pilot, Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Sherita Palma, the Chief of Curriculum Implementation Division, Dr. Renato Cagumok, the Chief of School Governance and Operations Division, Mr. Ubaldo Jumangay, the Education Program Supervisors, the Public Schools District Supervisors, the school heads, our completers, and graduates, their parents, and all our school stakeholders. Good afternoon to all of you. Today is another milestone in the history of our education pursuit for the sake of our children and their future. This is the completion and graduation rites of our school children this school year 2020-2021 with the theme Strengthening Quality Education Amidst COVID-19 Pandemic. Also, I consider this event a big celebration of the fruitful partnership we have fostered with our stakeholders led by our local government officials and the barangays and the city, as well as the cooperation, support, and understanding of our parents. It is worthy to mention that our teachers, the school heads, and supervisors have painstakingly shared all their best efforts with passion, dedication, and commitment. That is why the completion, the graduation rites is taking place today. To our young completers and graduates, I am congratulating all of you to have survived and won the battle against all the many challenges that have confronted you in trying to respond to the teaching learning modalities provided you by our schools during this pandemic. The teaching learning environment is very unusual, no? That put all of you, all of us, in a problematic, very problematic situation. But all of us did contribute in defining strategies responsive to every issue, event, concern, or even a problem, no, in solving all of this. So, we achieved all our intentions in reaching this day, your completion, your graduation rites. In this big event, I want you to remember this. Choose to see goodness in everything around you, and you will soon appreciate your life more. Choose to see the good side of every event, thing, or person in your life, and you will never run out of blessings to come. Let love embrace your life as God cares for you. My dear completers and graduates, for you to strengthen quality basic education amidst the pandemic, you should recognize the value of character. It is in your character, in your attitude, in your values, in your willpower that will define your destiny. The achievers are those who do not lose hope in time of adversity. They have a mindset that understands that after the rain, the sun shines brightly in the sky. They are the positive thinkers. They are industrious. They consider an issue a challenge to work on, a problem as a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. They do not allow detractors to define their day. They convert obstacles to opportunities. They set goals and achieve them with excellence. They have good relationship with everyone from home down to the community. And they have a very, very high self-respect. These are the sterling traits of achievers, which all of you must inculcate in your mind, develop them in yourselves, and practice them in your everyday life as you continue advancing your education to enable you to reach your ambition or dream in life. To put concrete to this, allow me to mention some of my personal experiences when I was a young student like you. As eldest of the 5 children, in a very humble beginning, a very humble family, I took the lead in setting standards when doing home chores. Every weekend, I was in the farm with my mother and younger brother, cutting the grass, planting all kinds of crops available, and harvesting those fit for harvest and bringing them to the market for sale. Occasionally, the 3 of us has to be in the forest to gather firewood enough for the week. Almost all the time in weekends, I was preparing native delicacies like iraid or puto bagol out of cassava, also for sale. So, doing this in those ways, we're no longer asking money from our mother for our projects in school. Actually, in all that we wanted to buy for ourselves when we were in school, like school supplies and snacks, were both out of the income we have in selling root crops, vegetables, and the native delicacies. I also decided to indulge myself and my younger brother in gathering stones at the mountains not far away from the barangay where we were residing in some weekends when we were not in the farm. What did we do with those big stones? Of course, we gathered them just like what the barangay folks were doing, and we put them along the highway, then broke them into pieces, just like what we are noticing or what we have now. When we are having construction, then these small stones are usually, we call them gravel. So those were the things that we had done during those days. And we were selling as well those broken stones. But that time, it was by can. Per can, it was both, I think 15 centavos per can. And we used to have 30 to 50 cans, when the buyer, of the stones or gravel was already around. You see, my brother and I were already very happy when the buyer was already around, because most of the time we were able to make it to 50 cans of gravel and 15 centavos per can. Then we used to receive 7 pesos and 50 centavos. And you know what? Usually it took us about 3 to 4 months for us to be able to come up with that number of cans. But it was an addition to what we already have. Out of the selling of root crops, the selling of vegetables, the selling of the native delicacies. So you see, plus the purchase out of the stones or out of the gravel. Anyway, let me mention to you that my father has worked 14 years in a fishing boat, as a pescador. A pescador is the lowly paid laborer in the fishing boat. But after about 3 to 5 years, probably, my father got promoted to a position they call maestro. As maestro, he was the captain of the boat, that stayed for 7 days at sea fishing. When the boat came ashore, we had plenty of fish at home, and this was a weekly scenario. So I learned how to slice the big fish and produce dried fish out of them, also for sale. Additional income again. In my childhood days, my dear young completers and young graduates, what I learned so much was about work. We have never wasted a day with barcadas because we have none. I have none. Yes, I do have friends among neighbors and in the school, my classmates, but we never spent a day for nothing. I do not preach to you to do all this, but I want you to pick up the strong message I am sending out of the simpleness of life I have had in my younger days, but was full of passion, full of hard work, and determination to succeed. To all education program supervisors and key personnel in the division office, to all the public schools district supervisors, to all the school principals, head teachers, teachers in charge, to all our teachers and non-teaching personnel, there is a saying which says, there are three kinds of people in this world: those who make things happen, those who watch them happen, and those who never know that everything at all is happening. This we all know. We belong to the first group of people because as teachers, we take hand, we open minds, and we touch hearts. In closing, let me quote Walter Scott. He said, "Whatever understanding we have of ourselves, this is what we become. We can become anything we want because the world exists through the power of beliefs. There is nothing fixed or limiting about human being. All the power of the universe is inside us. Simply put, we are who we think we are. And this we have the power to change, to make a difference." Thank you, and mabuhay tayong lahat. Again, to the graduates, congratulations. To the completers, of course, find your time very soon, either August or September for our next school year opening. Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are about to witness, virtually, the main highlight of today's event. The senior high school graduating class of school year 2020 to 2021 will be presented and attested by our school head, Mrs. Herminia S. Balanay. And the confirmation of their graduation and distribution of diplomas will be done by the school's division superintendent, Dr. Thelma Kabadsan Kitalig, CESO 5.
Good afternoon, everyone. Before presenting to you the candidates for graduation, I would like to give a brief but essential background of this class. School year 2019-2020, 41 male and 37 female, a total of 78 students were enrolled in grade 11 at Malaga National High School, Peña 1 Annex. But because of transfer of residence, early parenthood, and other circumstances which cannot be avoided, some of these students were not able to continue their senior high school education. And now, I would like to inform you that despite of those hindering factors, a desirable number of students from this batch had been able to continue their senior high school education. Ma'am Telma Cabadsan Kitalig, Schools Division Superintendent of Calbayog City, represented by Sir Pedro L. Monticelio Jr., Public Schools District Supervisor of Tinambacan 3 District. I am proud to present to you the 69 candidates for graduation of Peña 1 National High School, Secondary, Senior High School Department for school year 2020-2021 with 32 male and 37 female. They have satisfactorily completed the basic requirements for senior high school of K-12 curriculum as prescribed by the Department of Education. They are now ready for confirmation as graduates of Peña 1 National High School, Secondary Senior High School Department in this year 2020-2021. Ma'am,
by virtue of the power vested in me as the school's division superintendent, and that authority is coming from the office of the regional director, Dr. Chima Ledisma, and in consonance with the pronouncement coming from the two chiefs for the completers, Mr. Chumangay, and then for the graduates, candidates for graduation, coming from Dr. Rini Kagumo. Now, I confirm the following as completers: kindergarten, 4,072. Grade 10, 3,836. As junior high school, 555. And for the candidates of graduation, I am confirming them graduates. Grade 6, 3,740. Grade 12, 2,981. Fifth year, 35. And arts elementary, 47. With the completion of either, all of them, these 4,072 children are ready for enrollment in any public and private institutions, not just here in Calcayog City, but anywhere in the Republic of the Philippines. For grade 10, they are now eligible for enrollment to the senior high school, also anywhere in our Republic. For the arts junior high school, they are as well ready for enrollment in the senior high school, anywhere in the Republic of the Philippines. For our graduates, for grade 6, they are now eligible for enrollment in any public or private institution in our country. For grade 12, then this group practically has two options. It's either they proceed to college or they proceed to life. Life is all about anything they wish to do in accord with the dictum of moral values and what is accepted by the society. For the 5th year, of course, they are eligible also for enrollment in the next ladder of education. So with this, we have finally succeeded in our journey for the educational attainment of this group of children. That's why congratulations, not just to this group of children, but to all of us.
Abuela Jo Marie G.
Almugera Fermin III M. Alugin Junel D. Ambe Jomari B. Baay Michael S. Valero Rudy Boy A. Bondesto Glendo B. Caballero Jason A. Kalamdag Gavino Jr. III G.
Caspe Jr. Romeo Y. Dilabahan Angelo M. Desabel CGC. Husay Jobeth Dick S. with honors. Labajo Troy S. Lapore John Christopher G. Latoha Artemio Jr. H. Mapa Artjet Q. Maribuhok Neil J. F. Montañas Rudel C. Moraca John Mark A. with honors. Pariol John Paul R. Polistico Jefferson B. Pugoso Ramil Jr. M. Kimuel Angelo B. with honors. Ronda John Florence M. Agadsad Alfred A. Saraga Patrick A. Sidmanaw Lloyd Kenneth P. Silaw Christian B. Tan Jo Marie D. Torrijas John Bennett D. Estimo Jr. Jerry L. Abalos Karen F. Abelio Shakira M. with honors.
Aliego Judian R.
Andante, Mary Christine P. with honors. Andaya, Afeyan Ninya A. with honors. Valero, Lolit P. Valero, Lovely A. with honors. Morinaga, Eliza Maki M.
Caspe LJ. Holo Jolina S. Kumpayan Jovica N. Cornelio Diana with honors. Domingo Jorelyn B. Duazo Jima B. Famoso Stephanie Joy M. with honors. Gutierrez Alia Kate C. with honors. Husayan Almina B. Mahusay Aluna A. Mahusay Mimi A. Maribuhok Maria Lynn B. with honors. Maribuhok Megan Rose M. with high honors. Montemor Gina D. Oliva Mary Rose M. with honors. Olores Christine D. Pepito Patricia Lane G. with honors. Prasmo Erica Joy Y. with honors. Rojas Riza O. with honors. Salazar Rochelle S. Sinolos Mary Grace D. Ciliar Jovelyn M. with honors. Suarez Freslin M. Sumaganday Lovely Jane V. with honors. Tames Aiza P. with honors. Tekling Mitchi A. Tranghia GN with honors. Tranghia Marian P. with honors. Tranghia Princess Camila F. At this juncture, to know more about these batch of graduates and to listen to an address of gratitude, may we hear from Megan Rose Maribuhok, senior high school graduate with high honors.
A blissful day, family, friends, respective faculty, and my fellow graduates. It gives me great pleasure to speak on behalf of our class. Well, we did it. We all accomplished one of the major milestones of our lives, senior high school graduation. Unfortunately, this time we see each other through this online platform, an unexpected experience as we end this part of our journey. 2 years ago, our journey started at Malaga National High School, Peña 1 Annex, now Peña 1 National High School. It was filled with joys, struggles, sacrifices, and experiences. We see each other during the class. We celebrated our loss and victories during events. participated to competitions, and side by side learned new lessons as students of general academic strand. Little did we know that at the end of 2019, a global pandemic has spread. We were shocked and confused from the news that it has entered in our country. That causes and leads to this situation that face-to-face classes were diverted to online and modular learning. We, students and teachers, adjusted a lot from the traditional school setup to meet the demands for this way of learning. Let's face it, this type of setup has its advantages and disadvantages based on what we've experienced. The interaction between us and the teachers was limited, with the every distribution of modules containing different subjects that we were expected to complete the task and submit the outputs at the end of the week. Even though studying at home gave us the eerie feeling of freedom and being less pressured, still most of us suffered anxieties and shortcomings. But we touched our ground. Our teachers inspired and challenged us throughout this quest. And with our parents' guidance and as our support system, we were able to achieve our goal. Every student's life is different, and we all work hard to get where we are today. Since we are getting used with the new normal, it taught us to have faith in God, believe in ourselves, hope, and have courage to live for our dreams. Some of us will proceed to college, and others will go straight to workforce. Each of us will travel our own path, so no matter where we go or what we do, there are challenges ahead of us that we need to overcome. We may fail sometimes, but life goes on. And one day, we will thank ourselves for never giving up. On behalf of my fellow graduates, I would like to acknowledge the encouragement and efforts of our teachers, families, and friends. Thank you, as all of you are part of this success. I hope all of us should take this accomplishment as an example of how everything is truly possible when we put our minds to it.
Let us shine like the sun, rise like a phoenix, take to the sky with the graduating class of Peña National High School, cause we got no limits. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all listen to the graduation song of the batch 2020 to 2021 of the senior high school graduating class. Phoenix by Morissette.
Don't wanna take this grave while I'm alive. There's a hope that comes with the morning. There's a chance to start over again. Just as long as our hearts keep on beating, there's still time left to win. So let's shine like the sun, rise like a phoenix, take to the sky, 'cause we got no limits. Don't be afraid to reach for the stars. over again, just as long as our hearts keep on beating. There's still time left to win. Shine like the sun, rise like a phoenix, take to the sky, 'cause we got no limits. Don't be afraid to reach for the stars, 'cause we were made to go. Oh, we were meant for more. Oh, we were made to soar the far.
It was never easy, but you dared not to give up. If you did, you will never be a step closer to your dreams. I am glad that you were able to make it through. As Alicia Keys said, be unafraid to be completely you and accept all those other individuals that you meet as they are, because you are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. That concludes our today's ceremony. This is your Master of Ceremony, Jaime La Rosa, saying, congratulations graduates, and good day viewers.
To start over again, just as long as our hearts keep on beating. There's still time left to win. So let's shine like the sun, rise like a phoenix.
Good afternoon, everyone. Before I close today's ceremonies, I'd like to take this opportunity to say, on behalf of the faculty, staff, and the Namakantri administrators, congratulations to the graduates and parents for a job well done. Finally, the awaited moment is over. Graduation ceremonies is not the end. Consider today's ceremonies as the first step in achieving greater success in the future learnings. Graduates, hoping forward that you will recognize that this is also the right time for thanking those who have helped you to overcome all obstacles in your 2 years journey in senior high school. My dear parents, keep on raising and sending to higher education such kind of amazing students. Current COVID-19 situation is not the hindrance for their success. Lastly, I would like to end with this quotation from philosopher Confucius. I hope this will serve your inspiration as you face in your future struggle. Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in raising every time we fall. My dear parents, students, my teammates at Peña National High School, my DepEd family of Calbayog City Division, I would like to present to you the accomplishment of Peña National High School School Year 2020-2021.
supported and encouraged us to finish this momentous event. Also, we would like to express our sincerest appreciation to Tinambakan 3 administrators, especially to our public schools district supervisor, Mr. Pedro L. Montesilio Jr., for providing us technical assistance to make this event a success. Furthermore, to the following administrators of this wonderful district in helping us in some parts related to quality technical educational works. Dr. Jaime S. Sagayap Jr., Mr. Michael S. Buenaventura, Miss Rowena L. Oyoa, Miss Herminia S. Balanay, Dr. Lilia L. Adel, Mr. Mirardo S. Kumayingking Jr., Miss Veronica B. Pipito, Miss Zara V. Aliego, Miss Lolita M. Labian, Mr. Wenceslao B. Orbeso, Mr. Lanji Boy C. Enriquez. Mabuhay ang Tinambakan 3 District! Again, our dear graduates, our warmest congratulations!